Hey, welcome back to Leilani's Couch. 10 minutes of motivation. You know the drill. Grab your coffee, slide into that seat, and let's get you recharged and refocused. Today we're getting into something that's been a total game changer for me, and honestly, for so many women in my circle. Let's talk about automating like a CEOess. That full stack freedom isn't just a catchy phrase, it's real. And it starts with understanding what full stack automation even looks like for women running the show. So when I say full stack automation, I'm talking about more than just putting a few tasks on autopilot. It's about building systems that let you juggle all those pieces, your business, your family, your own self-care, without dropping anything or losing your mind. Because let's be real, the overwhelm, it is at an all-time high, especially for ambitious women. If you listen to episode 9, you're doing too much. We got real about how that constant grind will steal your peace if you let it. And let me just say, I've lived in that chaos. Picture this. Me running between open houses as a real estate broker, answering client calls with a toddler on my hip, deadlines sneaking up while I'm microwaving leftovers for the third night in a row. I promise. There were moments where I just sat on my bathroom floor like, Leilani, how do you keep going? That's when automation found me. It started small. Automating appointment bookings, scheduling social posts. And suddenly I could breathe again. Automating wasn't just about making life easier. It actually flipped my entire mindset from frantic to focused. That freedom, it's a real thing. All right, so how did I take it further? Let's break that down. Now, here's where we get practical and a little spicy. Everyone talks about just automate your calendar, but the CEOess mindset, it goes way deeper. Systemized workflows mean you're not just outsourcing reminders, but actually building creative energy back into your day so you can lead, not just manage the chaos. I'll give you a few examples that took me from overwhelmed to operating like a real CEOess. First up, automating my client intake process. Instead of back and forth emails, I set up an online form with automated responses and calendar integration. Clients felt seen and responded to instantly, and I wasn't glued to my phone. Second, social media. If you're trying to show up everywhere, it's exhausting, right? Tools that schedule posts, reply to comments, track analytics, that's hours back in your week. Don't even get me started on financial tracking, putting invoicing, receipts, and account data into automated systems took away so much stress and made those tax season headaches vanish. Well, almost vanish. I've watched women-led businesses, I'm talking about folks in the Boss Women Network, really scale up because they embrace these systems. They're not stuck in do-it-all mode. They're opening up space to collaborate, innovate, and still find time for life and sanity. That's the real power of automating like a CEOess. It's not just about saving time. It's about leveling up in ways that inspire the whole tribe. And speaking of inspiration, let's talk about what happens when you really reclaim your profit and personal power. Look, the real flex is when automation isn't just about getting your emails answered or your DMs sorted, but about unlocking whole new streams of profit and opportunity. Let's say you finally automate those repetitive tasks. What could you do with that extra time? I know women who used it to launch their first online course or roll out digital products, stuff that builds income while they sleep. There are real case studies, and I love shouting them out. Women who traded busy work for big moves. One boss made the leap from drowning in admin to doubling her profits within a year. just by stepping back and letting tools do the heavy lifting. That transition, it's what lets you play a strategic role. You're finally leading, not just managing endless to-do lists. I'll get real for a sec. One of my best automation wins, building a content calendar system that lets me batch, schedule, and y'all honestly just breathe. That's how I reclaim those 10 minutes of motivation to pour into you, and just as important, to pour back into myself every week. When you free up your time with real systems, you're not just running your business, you're reclaiming your life, your family, and your fire. All right, that's my 10 minutes for today. Automate like a CEOess wherever you are in your journey. Remember, you deserve freedom and abundance, not just busyness. Take what you need from this episode and let it shift your week. Catch you next time, right here on Leilani's Couch. Let's keep building and pouring into each other. Until then, stay motivated, stay powerful, and don't forget to claim your couch time.